Stinging is a very expensive form of defense because when a bee loses its sting, it dies. So it's better for the colony to warn predators off before they have to fight them off. And they warn them with some dramatic displays. I've got a reproduction of a hornet, which is one of the main enemies of bees. I'll see if I can get them to do it. Just watch. There. See, there's a moving wave which passes over the surface of the colony. And that not only produces an impressive pattern, but it also makes it very difficult for any aggressor, like perhaps a hornet, which eats bees, to actually land on that moving carpet of wings.
The colony's great treasure, of course, is its huge store of honey. This is produced from nectar, which the bees industriously collect from flowers. They systematically expose it to the air so that the water it contains evaporates and the nectar becomes sweeter and thicker. Eventually, it turns into honey. The combs in which they store it are continuously guarded by the covering of bees. They cling so thickly that it might seem that nothing could get past them. But some thieves know how to do so, particularly at night. A death's head hawk moth flies over the surface of the colony and goes so close to it that the bees are alarmed enough to wave their warning. But the moth is not put off. It wants honey. Amazingly, it manages to land on the carpet of bees and quickly pushes its way through them. A quick sip of honey, and it's off. It succeeds because, although it looks nothing like a bee to our eyes, it has camouflaged itself with a smell, a pheromone, that convinces the bees that it's one of them. But in spite of such raids, bees, thanks to their stings, retain their precious honey. Precious because it is that enables them to survive a season without flowers.
The honeycombs inside the hive are made up of small boxes called cells. The cells are six-sided, or hexagons. They are tilted so that the honey does not flow out. All the cells together make up the comb. The comb is made from wax that bees make with their wax glands. The wax comes out from openings on the underside of the bee's abdomen. Bees forage thousands of flowers a day to gather nectar and pollen. Nectar and pollen are food for bees. Pollen is sometimes called bee bread. Nectar is a sweet liquid found inside flowers. The bee laps and sucks up nectar with her tube-like tongue and stores it in her honey stomach. The female worker bees make honey from nectar in the beehive. Bees eat this honey in the winter when there is no food available from flowers. It takes more than 5,000 flower visits to make 1 teaspoon of honey. Honeybees also gather pollen grains from each flower they visit. The bee uses her hind legs to scrape off the pollen grains stuck to its abdomen and then presses them into the pollen basket on the hind leg. While gathering pollen, the honeybee also pollinates flowers as she accidentally carries pollen from flower to flower. When a pollen grain combines with a flower egg cell inside the flower, a seed begins to grow. Bees pollinate many crop plants, plants that give us food like oranges, apples, and watermelons.